Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Duck Commander 500 NASCAR at Texas Motor Speedway preview. Race 7 of the 26 race regular season. Last week was bye week. NASCAR's off every Easter weekend. Didn't do a preview for Martinsville. Sorry about that. Got busy, couldn't get it done. Alright, let's follow up with my 7 drivers I've been following, what they've done at Texas. Kevin Harvick, who is 5-1 odds of winning this race, is first in points with 2 wins, 1 pole, 2 top 5s, and 6 top 10s. Next is Eric Almirola. He's 10th in points, has no wins, no top 10s, no top 5s. He's at 301 odds to win at Texas. Next, Jeff Gordon, who's 16th in the chase, with 0 wins this year, 2 poles, and 3 top 10s, excuse me. He's 11-1 odds of winning Texas. Carl Edwards is 16-1 odds of winning. He's 17th currently in points with no wins. Clint Boyer, who's 18th, barely out of the chase, is 61-1 odds of winning with 1 top 10 this year, no wins. Greg Biffle is 20th in points, 61-1 odds of winning at Texas with 1 top 10. Austin Dillon is 201-1 odds. He's 22nd in points with no wins. These 7 drivers at Texas career, Kevin Harvick has average finish is 13.13 in 24 races. He's got 4 top 5s and 12 top 10s. Eric Almirola is 20th average finish with 8 races. Jeff Gordon has an average of 17.5 with 28 races and 1 win. Carl Edwards has a 15.2 average finish with 3 wins. Clint Boyer has a 13.33 average finish with 0 wins. Greg Biffle has a 14.5 average finish with 2 wins. And Austin Dillon, just 4 races, averages 24.5 finishing. In the last 4 races at Texas of the last 2 years, Harvick is average 16th position, Eric Almirola is average 17th, Jeff Gordon 26th, Carl Edwards 15th, Clint Boyer 15th, Greg Biffle 8th, and Austin Dillon 24th. In the last 2 years at the intermediate track, which this is I believe it's a 1.5 mile intermediate track, Kyle Busch, who is still out hurt, has an average finish of 5.2 with 1 win. Joe Logano has an average finish of 5.2 with 1 win. Jimmy Johnson has an average of 8.25 with 2 wins. This is actually the last 2 years at Texas. Excuse me. So Kyle Busch, off injured, has an average finish of 5.25. His replacement, David Reagan, has an average finish at Texas in the last 2 years of 33.75. So we'll really see if it's the car, if it's Kyle. Obviously, it's a combination of both. I don't think David Reagan's going to do that well. At intermediate tracks over the last 2 years, Matt Kenseth has an average finish of 7.35 with 5 wins. Harvick, Mr. Intermediate, seems like so far this year, has an average finish of 8.65 with 6 wins. And then Jimmy Johnson, Joe Logano, and Kyle Busch. Johnson has 4 wins, Logano and Kyle both have 2 wins. Brad Keselowski has an average finish of 13.92 with 4 wins. In their career, in intermediate tracks with current drivers only, so this is throughout NASCAR history with just current guys. Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson both have 24 wins, Stewart has 15, and Matt Kenseth has 13. Obviously, like I've done in other weeks, my prediction for this week will be probably a Chevrolet. If I had to guess, either Jimmy Johnson or Kevin Harvick. It seems like so far this year, Toyota has struggled mightily on anything above a half mile. Obviously at Vegas they struggled, at California they struggled, at Daytona, Matt Kenseth won the sprint shootout, but they kind of struggled in Daytona. It just seems like for whatever reason Toyota hasn't got their act in gear this year, except on the half mile. Obviously, you notice on the half mile where there's really no downforce, Toyota did very well. Joe Gibbs Racing did very well. Going into the last week, or 2 weeks ago, excuse me, in Martinsville, Joe Gibbs Racing was right outside the chase, all 3 cars. They were doing 3 Toyotas, like I think they were 14th, 16th, and 17th in points. Obviously, Hamlin winning last week in Martinsville is in the chase now. Boo hoo. Don't like Denny Hamlin. Don't like Joe Lagan. Don't like Brad Gazowski. Don't like Kyle Busch. Those are my 4 I hate. I like everybody else though. So, yeah, I just think Toyota needs to figure out their intermediate track, because the vast majority of these races are intermediate track. Obviously, making the chase is big for Denny Hamlin, because last year he missed a race but still made the chase. I still disagree with if Kurt Busch wins a race, he can be in the chase with missing 2 races. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. There was talk of that last week when he was winning at Martinsville, and he was winning, and supposedly NASCAR threw the caution flag to bunch the field up so he couldn't win? Question mark? I don't know. Why would they come out and say that, but then basically try to take the win away from him? Whatever. I also want to throw a little bit out there about Deflate. I was going to do a whole video about it, but it actually became pointless. Yeah, I just... With Ryan Newman's team getting fined, what was that, $75,000 or something? I had it here somewhere. Give me just a second, I'll find it in my notebook here. Here we go. Ryan Newman's penalty was 75 points, which is almost 2 races, and $125,000 for the crew chief, and the crew chief suspended 6 races, and the owner point stock 75. For somebody who finished 27th at Daytona, 5th at Vegas, 3rd at California, 3rd at Phoenix, and 10th at Martinsville. If they were doing something with the tires like that to let air out of them, it makes no sense, because it's not like they were winning and doing stuff. Yeah, going into Martinsville, the Toyotas were 13th, 14th, 15th, and 17th for Joe Gibbs Racing, with 4 top 10s combined. I just don't understand why that all went down the way it did. I know if you're going to do that, you don't drill a hole in the tire. That's what I don't understand, because any way of cutting these tires is going to blow them up, and Goodyear monitors these tires. The only way you could do it and get away with it, I think, is drill a hole in the wheel, which has been done before, and got caught, and got fined heavily. But the fact they took the tires from Harvick and Logano at Phoenix, they took the tires from Harvick, Kyle Busch, Ryan Newman, Paul Menard at Auto Club Speedway, California. 2 of those were Richard Childress Racing, and 2 of those were Stuart Haas. So obviously back in '98 there was the same type of thing going on with Jeff Gordon. His tires were confiscated, but yet they found nothing wrong. He had a streak of 17 straight top 5 finishes. Obviously Deflategate in NASCAR, Deflategate in the NFL. It would have made more sense if it would have been Rouse Racing having a Deflategate issue instead of Richard Childress, because if it had been Rouse Racing, there's a connection to the New England Patriots. What? Exactly. Rouse Racing is partly owned by John Henry, who owns the Boston Red Sox. That's where New England plays, is in Boston. Anyway, so just everything going with Deflategate, Ryan Newman suspension, fine of 75 points. Hopefully he's able to win a race and make the chase. Hopefully that doesn't ruin his start the championship. Obviously Ryan Newman won the Final Four last year. So we'll see how that turns out. We'll see if Kevin Harvick can continue his dominance this year in the intermediate tracks. We can see if the Toyotas can somehow figure out the intermediate tracks. So all those storylines. So enjoy the Duck Commander 500, Texas Motor Speedway, and Chevrolet will be in Victory Lane. Deuces! Robert Sports Show, the YouTube leader in sports channels.